At Fort Bragg, North Carolina, on a humid morning in July 2024, Emily Harper stood at attention during her first roll call, her heart pounding beneath her plain gray t-shirt. The drill sergeant barked for her to remove the bandage on her arm. As she peeled back the gauze, revealing a tattoo of a viper coiled around a dagger, the squad erupted in laughter. "What's this, a comic book villain tryout?" One sergeant sneered. Another muttered, "Nobody inks something like that unless they're hiding something." The tattoo's image was flagged and sent up the chain. Within hours, a colonel arrived, his face draining of color at the sight of the ink. "Continue her training," he said, voice low and tight. "Wipe all records of that tattoo." Emily, with her stormy blue eyes and dark blonde hair slightly tousled from the morning heat, didn't flinch. Her slight frame stood rigid, hands clasped behind her back as she rewrapped the bandage with deliberate care. The squad moved on, but the air crackled with tension, like a storm waiting to break. No one knew why the colonel reacted that way, but Emily offered no explanation. She just stepped back into line, her faded cargo pants blending into the crowd, though the recruits' smirks and whispers followed her like shadows. Emily was no stranger to being underestimated. Raised in a family that owned half the high-rises in Atlanta, she'd been taught to carry herself with quiet strength discipline in every step, every word. But she never flaunted their wealth. No designer labels, no polished nails, just simple clothes and that hidden tattoo. At Fort Bragg, that made her a target. By day 2, during a gear inspection, a lanky recruit named Marcus, always chasing the sergeant's approval, spotted the bandage's edge. "Yo, Viper girl," he called, loud enough for the platoon to hear. "What's that ink supposed to mean? You some kind of wannabe assassin?" Snickers rippled through the group. A recruit named Claire, with a sharp ponytail and sharper tongue, chimed in, "Maybe it's to distract from those thrift store vibes." Emily didn't respond. She adjusted her bandage, her fingers steady, and kept her eyes down. Marcus leaned closer, his breath sour with energy drink. "Seriously, who gets a viper and dagger? You running from something?" She met his gaze for a split second, her voice low but cutting. "It's just a tattoo." Marcus blinked, stepped back, and the laughter died. During a night navigation drill, Emily was paired with a team that barely acknowledged her. The map was worn, the sky cloudless but dark, and Marcus, leading the group, barked orders to head west. Emily, flashlight steady, traced a different path on the map. "That's a ravine," she said, her voice soft but clear. "Go east." Marcus scoffed. "What? You're a cartographer now. Stick to your creepy tattoo, Harper." The group followed him west, only to hit a steep drop-off an hour later, boots slipping in loose gravel. Emily, who'd doubled back alone, was already at the checkpoint when they stumbled in, cursing and bruised. The instructor, a no-nonsense woman named Torres, checked her watch. Harper's team, first to finish. Marcus's face burned, but Emily just handed over the map and walked away. The whispers grew meaner. In the barracks, Claire, always polished like she was on parade, braided her hair and sneered to anyone listening. "Bet she got that ink in some back-alley shop. Regrets it now, I'm sure." Another recruit, a stocky guy named Diaz, laughed. "She doesn't belong here. What is she, 100 pounds soaking wet?" Emily, folding her clothes into perfect squares across the room, didn't falter. But her grip on her water bottle tightened just enough to betray her. During a morning briefing, she sat in the back, jotting coordinates in a notebook. A recruit named Logan, broad-shouldered and always name-dropping his uncle's Pentagon ties, leaned over. "What's this, Harper? Sketching your viper again?" He snatched her notebook, flipping through pages of precise notes angles, codes, distances. His grin faded. "What is this spy stuff?" The room turned. Emily took the notebook back, her hand steady. "Just notes," she said, her tone flat. The snap of the notebook closing echoed in the silence. The tattoo resurfaced during a medical check. A nurse, clipboard in hand, told Emily to uncover it. She hesitated, then revealed the viper and dagger. The nurse's eyes narrowed. "Looks like it's got a code woven in," she muttered, sending the image up the chain. Hours later, a gray-haired colonel appeared, his jaw tight as he studied the tattoo. "You're cleared," he said, voice clipped. "No record of this." Emily nodded, rewrapping her arm, her face unreadable. During a logistics drill, while others slacked, Emily stacked crates with puzzle-like precision. A recruit named Tyler, flashy with his designer sunglasses, mocked her. "What's the rush, Harper? That tattoo doesn't make you boss." Her section was flawless. Tyler's was a mess. The instructor's glare silenced him. The humiliation peaked during a strength test. Emily struggled at the pull-up bar, her arms shaking after 2 reps. The minimum was 5. A sergeant named Grant shook his head. "Harper, you're embarrassing yourself." Claire whispered to Marcus. "Guess that Viper doesn't help with those twig arms." Laughter erupted. Emily stepped away, her voice steady. "I'll try again tomorrow." Her fists clenched as she walked off, reassigned to the low-performance squad, a mix of misfits and troublemakers. There, a recruit named Mia, with dyed red hair and a permanent scowl, bumped into her during an equipment check. "Watch it, Viper girl," she snapped. "That tattoo doesn't make you special." Emily, cleaning a rifle, looked up, her blue eyes piercing. "Dead weight doesn't finish first," she said, her tone sharp. The room went quiet, remembering her navigation win. During a silent infiltration drill, Emily moved like a ghost, crossing a sensor-rigged field without a sound. Most tripped alarms, she didn't. Marcus, red-faced after triggering multiple sensors, spat. "How's she doing that?" Claire muttered, "Just luck. That tattoo's not magic." But Torres, the instructor, watched Emily closely, her lips tight. The auxiliary squad was brutal, but Emily endured, her boots scuffed but tight, her hair in a messy bun. During a team exercise, she led a mock evacuation, her voice steady despite her team's complaints. When Logan ignored her and led them into a trap, Emily's grip on his arm stopped him cold. "Not that way," she said. They made it out with seconds to spare. No one thanked her. In a sandstorm simulation, when the main squad got lost, Emily slipped away with a map, knife, and rope. She cut tripwires, built a shelter, and guided the squad back. Cameras caught her moving through the haze, calm and precise. The instructor, Daniels, announced her record-breaking time. The room went silent. Claire's jaw dropped. Marcus stared at the floor. During a communications drill, Emily decoded a garbled signal under pressure, saving the exercise. Daniels nodded. "Harper, you're on point next time." Tyler muttered, but her steady hands silenced him. The truth broke during a closed meeting. Emily's file, marked with a red stamp, lay on the table. "Serpent Squad, Operation Ghost Veil," the general said. Harper was the only survivor. The room froze. Serpent Squad was a Mythy unit sent into missions that never made the news. Emily, barely 20, had survived nerve gas, losing her memory but not the tattoo, a genetic marker from a mission no one spoke of. The officers left, heads down. At the final review, Colonel Hayes called Emily forward. "Remove the bandage." The Viper and dagger gleamed. He shrugged off his jacket, revealing the same tattoo. "We are the last," he said, voice breaking. "Harper is promoted. Special honors." The hall held its breath. Claire was discharged, her social media rants screenshotted and mocked online. Marcus lost a sponsorship deal. Logan got a desk job. Emily didn't gloat. Her tattoo now visible, she walked through camp, recruits parting silently. Her silence was her power. Years ago, in a dimly lit room, Emily had laughed with her team, their tattoos fresh. An airstrike stole them, leaving her with only the ink. At Fort Bragg's gate, a black SUV waited. She climbed in, the camp watching as she left, her truth louder than their words. Have you ever been judged before you could prove yourself? What secrets do you carry that others don't see? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more stories of grit and truth. What would you have done in Emily's shoes? Fought back or stayed silent?